What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Super Beast Jin. Today I thought I'd do a little something different. I'm going to read some of your comments because we get a lot of comments, and sometimes it's hard to really articulate answers in the comment section. A lot of words go into it sometimes. Because they are answers to questions. There are some questions, some concerns, and just some comments that I want to address, and I thought it'd be fun to do in a video. And maybe if this is something you guys like, we'll do more of it in the future. But I figured let's start with the, this one is from Abzan Super Friends, which we put up not too long ago. So this says, good stuff, though I have a few doubts. Is there a reason for going expel the interlopers instead of no witnesses? Also, is there a reason for not using one of the Kayas? All right. Also, I'm not going to show the names because I don't know if you guys want me to show your names, but the question is there. Well, we do have no witnesses in the deck. We have one. But generally, expel the interlopers I do like better for this particular deck. Mostly because Archangel's making 1/1 creatures. We're making 2/2s with the Eternal Wanderer. And 3/3s with the Red Realmbreaker. We make the land a creature. What I like about Expel the Interlopers is that if your opponent has like a problematic like Sheldred, which is a 4/5, or Phyrexian Obliterator, this is just one example, which is a 5/5, you get to basically make this a one-sided board wipe a lot of times. And I know we are going to sometimes be using the -2 on the Elspeth to power up our creatures to make them ahead of that 1/1, whatever, making them a 3/3 basically. But a lot of times if you have a bunch of creatures on the field, a lot of them are going to probably 1/1s anyways. So a lot of times it's going to be a one-sided board wipe, or you can make it a one-sided board wipe, which is why I do prefer the Expel the Interlopers over any other like 5-drop destroy type of effect. And if you don't have a whole board like that, then it really doesn't matter what you play. No witnesses. You let your opponent investigate, which isn't the worst thing in the world. It's not a bad card, but it just, most of the time when you're using a board wipe, it's because your opponent probably has more creatures than you. So, 9 times out of 10, your opponent's probably going to investigate with this and draw an extra card. And not that that's the worst thing in the world, but I just think that Expel the Interlopers for this particular deck, for making like 1/1s and stuff, I think Expel is actually better. Plus, we will get to the 5 mana part of the game, just because we have the lifelink with the 1/1 creatures. We do have removal. And we have blockers, and we have ways to remove creatures. So it is very possible most times to get to 5 mana. That's why we have 5 mana things in there. And then why aren't we using one of the Kayas? I don't know. I mean, like, why am I not using this card or that card? I mean, like, you just can't fit everything in the deck, you know? It's very possible you could just take one Vraska out and put in a Kaya. I mean, there's no problem with that. Your cards definitely work, and so do mine. So, like, they're both good. Like, if you feel more comfortable putting Kayas in this deck, put a Kaya in there. Yeah, that's your prerogative. There's no science to this. This is not a science. This is not like a matter of fact deck. I mean, like, you can, if you want to play this deck, you can take things out and put things in, whatever. Make it to your liking. That's the whole point of the game, is to play the way you want to play. Play the decks you want to play it the way you want to play. That's what I say. There should be no one way to do this game, like, you should have fun with it. And if you want to put Kaya in there, put Kaya in there. I mean, hey, we might do this again, put Kaya in there, that's fine. I mean, like we might do an upgrade eventually. I actually might go not green and just put the Kayas in, like that's a way you can go too. You can take out the green and just put the Kayas in. It is what it is, whatever you want to do. For it not being in here, there's no real reason. It's just, I just shouldn't put it in. There's just, not every card can be in every deck. But yeah, I mean, I can see your concern on the Kaya. Like, yeah, but if you want to play this, play the Kaya. Play the way you are most comfortable, and that's what I love about the game. That you can do that. Next comment. Let's do. This was on the mono white life gain deck. It doesn't really pertain to the deck, so I didn't bring the deck up. But I said, I'm pleased to see that it's not just me that gets forced losses. Unless Wizards listens to the fans and sorts it out, they'll continue to hemorrhage players. I only play dailies, as MTGA is a joyless slog against your opponents and the game. I get a lot of these comments. Pretty much like every other like video, I get comments like this, where it's like, oh, I logged into Magic and I just got destroyed, like 15. I went 15 losses. Like, that happens to everybody. You are not alone. There's nothing wrong with what you are doing. Like if you're an average player, sure you're making misplays here and there, but you are not like singled out for this. This happens to everyone. I think I've said this before, but there are days where I can log in and lose 15 times in a row with a deck, right? I'll come back the next day and I'll win 15 times. Like it's just the way the game is. Some days you just can't win, and some days you just win all the time. But you are in no way the only person this happens to, so do not worry about that. I know a lot of people say that and they're pissed off at the game, and it's like it just happens. It really does just happen, whether it's forced losses or rigged matchmaking or what. It just happens to everybody. Everybody has to go through it. It's not something that's like just, you know, it's exclusive to one person. Like I said, some days you just can't win. And the reason you don't see that in my games, in my videos, is because if I lose 15 games in a row, that's just not a deck I'm going to play for the channel. I'm just not going to do it, you know? Because you guys want to see how the deck works, how it doesn't work, right? Not how it doesn't work. So if I lose 15 times, I'm either going to come back the next day and try again, or I'm going to tweak the deck and make it different, you know? Like, because I'll admit, it's not always the matchmaker, it's not always the rigging. It's sometimes it's the deck. Sometimes there's problems like, oh, there's a lot of creatures on the field. If only I had a board wipe in here. So I'll go back to the drawing board, put a board wipe in, you know. And if now I have to see if there's another problem, you know. Oh crap, like mono red's an issue now. So let me go put in a little life gain, or maybe something that deals with like small creatures. All right, let's go back to the drawing board. You know, sometimes I have to do that, and that's why it takes me a while to get like a video out sometimes, just because I'm trying to like perfect it, you know. I don't want to go like 3 wins, 5 losses. It's like I don't want to show you a deck that doesn't work, you know. Like that's the thing. So you won't normally see stuff like that. And I know I've taken like a poll before, and a lot of people don't want to see just straight losses. That's hard to watch, and I understand that. So yeah, so I do my best to try to find decks that work, or decks that work halfway decently. And sometimes like I'll know if it's a deck, and I'll be like, yeah, I'll just go back to the drawing board. And then some days I'll be like, I know this is a good deck, and I just lost 15 times. Like, what is going on? So I'll just come back with that deck the next day. I'll try something different, you know, for that day. So it's in no way exclusive to you. You're doing fine. You know, just keep playing, keep trying at it. It's frustrating sometimes. I have damn near thrown my my mouse across the room for some games, but that's just the nature of the beast, you know. It happens. You're not alone. Just, you know, like I said, just keep trying. You'll get there. This next comment was on my Golgari Reanimator deck. I love a good Golgari Reanimator deck, or a good Reanimator deck, and I was looking for a new good Golgari deck, but I have such a bias against self-mill. I always seem to bin my reanimation spells and things I need early, and my hand is full of things I want in the yard. The Shuffler hates me, and I hate it right back. But I'm working on a new Reanimator Janky combo deck. If it works, I'll link it here. So that's usually the consensus in Magic Arena, is that the worst thing that can happen will happen, right? So if you need a Reanimator spell and you're milling yourself early on, it's likely that you are going to... It's happened many times to me. Almost every time it happens. If you don't already have that Reanimator spell in your hand, you're going to mill that Reanimator spell. It's the same thing with Insidious Roots. If you don't have the roots in your first hand and you have something that mills yourself, you're gonna bin the roots. It's just the way it is. It's the same thing as if you play 10 creatures to the field, your opponent's gonna have a sweeper. If you don't, yeah, your opponent didn't have the sweeper in the first place. You know, like that's just the way the game goes. But yeah, it's just, I guess it's just a thing of like, just be careful with what you mill. I know you want to mill early. I would also say that opening hand, that mulligan, is very important, you know? You can mulligan a couple times, you know, before it becomes a problem. So, always just, if you don't trust your gut, if you feel like your opening hand is like, oh, this is a loss, you know, trust your gut, mulligan, if you don't like it, you know? And the worst thing that happens is that you lose the game. You know what I'm saying? Who cares? You move on, you go to the next one. Try again, you know? What I like about this game is popping off. That's what I want to do, is pop off. I could lose 50 games. If I pop off that one time, I'm okay with it. I'm happy. You know, that's all I want to do is pop off in a way that only I could pop off, you know? But yeah, you're absolutely right. Like, the Shuffler is like that. Like, they'll... I often think sometimes that the cards don't exist until you draw them or until you see them. So, like, on top of that deck, if you didn't mill anything, there would have been no reanimation spell there to begin with. But since you're milling, it's there. So I don't know if that's true or not. I don't want to believe that's true, but it almost seems like it, right? Like, it's like the card that's on top of your deck is always reactive to what's going on in the game. So I don't know. Yeah, put the tinfoil hat on, the conspiracy theories, all that, but sometimes it just feels that way, right? I mean, I know we've all thought it. We all go like, oh, that's of course that's what we mill, you know. But yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about there. I get you. I've been there many times, so I feel you. I hate the shuffler too. The shuffler seems to hate me as well, so we're on the same page on that. And if you do get that new build working, yeah, definitely link it. I'd love to see it. This one was on our mono green reanimator deck. It says pretty sweet deck. Now, if only I had the cards to try it out. And I think there was another one that said someone said something like that as well. And yeah, I do feel you. Sometimes, like, I don't know how people get all these wild cards to like play new decks as soon as a set comes out. Maybe they just build up coins and whatever. I don't know. I don't know how to do it. I don't pay money for the game, so maybe maybe you can buy cards. I have no idea. But it seems like everybody usually has like the best cards and every card they ever needed as soon as like a new set comes out. I don't know how they do that, but I feel you with the wild cards. The only thing I can tell you, if you're stuck on wild cards, do your dailies every day. Try to get at least like I would say 5 or 6 wins a day, and then try to do your dailies with them, and you can maximize your coins that way. Because I think with doing like 5 wins, I think you get like 1,000 points or something like that, like almost 1,000 coins. And then of course, your dailies, you get like a minimum of 500. But I would say if you have like a 500 that you don't really care about, or if a 500, like you just try it anyways, just click it and try to change it to a 750. That's 100. That's like 50% more points or coins you're getting with that. So I just try to that's what I do. I just try to maximize my coins every time I play. Each day, if I have time to play. I'll just do my dailies. I'll try to get like 750 coin dailies, and I'll try to get at least 5 or 6 wins a day. And then of course, like when you buy enough packs, you get that 6 card pack where you get like all mythics and rares in it. So it's really just maximizing your coins as good as you can. If you have the money to spend on the gems, you can always get the mastery pass. I don't like to do that. I don't like to pay money for a free game. Like what am I doing? You know? It's a free game. I want to play it for free, you know? I mean, that's just my prerogative on it. But you can always get the mastery pass. When you get to a certain point, you get a ton of coins. You get a ton of packs to open. So there's that way you can do that. And then, of course, like some packs you get wild cards, and some packs you'll get the cards you actually want. I mean, that's just the way it goes. But I do feel you with the not having the cards. It's like, that's why a lot of times when a new set comes out, you're going to see like new decks from me with some of the cards from that set, but you're not going to see like the top of the line best deck, because I don't have all the cards, and I kind of want to work my way. I also don't suggest making a deck with all new cards, just because like at that point you don't know what's working with that deck and what's not working. Like let's say you're taking like Golgari Reanimator, which is tried and true, and then you're taking it with the new set and you're putting cards in with the new set. You don't want to replace all the cards with new cards, because then you don't know what's working and what doesn't. You want to go little at a time and go, okay, so this works here, this doesn't work here, you know? It's just much easier to weed out the cards that are unnecessary in that way. But yeah, I feel you. I completely understand. I gotta address this one. This was on my Simic Mill deck. It says, brother, the amount of times I was screaming at the terrible sequencing and choices caused me actual pain. Oh, actual pain, really? Brother, it did matter paying 1 for the bird and leaving the green to level up the talent while not affecting the outcome of this game. It's just a better way to play. So you're saying it did matter, but then it didn't affect the outcome, which means it didn't matter. So, I mean, that kind of contradicts it. Honestly, don't take the game too seriously. Like, really, like maybe I did make some misplays, but who cares? We all misplay. The difference is, if you're not a content creator and you're playing the game, you are misplaying, just that there's no one there to tell you you made a mistake. So you are making a ton of mistakes as well. You just don't know it. And everybody does. Nobody's perfect, you know? That's just the way it goes. Is this going to help me next time? No, probably not. If I don't know what I did in the moment, then I don't know. I didn't pay for the thing. It didn't matter. Like it really didn't matter, because I still won the game. And I mean, you could say that, like, I'm not a professional player. I don't play in pro tours or anything like that. So I'm just here to have some fun and entertain. I don't take the game that seriously. I do like to make decent decks that actually perform okay, but I'm not taking it seriously as far as like, I got to sequence. I got to sequence this. I got to do it right. If you play that way, that's fine. You know, good for you. I mean, I'm glad. But like criticizing somebody else for not playing the way you're playing, I mean, it is what it is, man. I like to play the way I play. Also, I have ADHD too. So a lot of times I'm like in the moment. I have something in my mind that I want to do, and then I change my mind mid like thought. So there's that too. So it's like, and I don't always articulate that, but yeah. I mean, there's no reason to be mean and make fun, or like just to be caused actual pain. I'm sure you weren't in actual pain that you had to like go to the hospital or something. But yeah, don't take the game too seriously. It's like we're playing Magic Arena. It's like the game's like super rigged and ridiculous as it is. So if you're taking it seriously, go play in a pro tour, make some money playing the game. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my suggestion to you. But did I misplay? I mean, if you win, there's no misplaying. If you win, you did everything right. Because you could have played the other way and it could have changed the outcome. So there's that. We don't know. Hindsight is 2020. So a lot of times when people tell me you should have done this because then your opponent wouldn't have been, but I don't know what my opponent has in the moment, and your experience is different than my experience, right? So you might have not have run into the things I've run in. I might have done the thing you're telling me to do in the past, and I've been punished for it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are like, you need to put pressure on your opponent by attacking, and it's like, well, they had death touchers, so I'm not going to lose my biggest thing to a 1/1 death toucher. And I understand to get it off the field, but like I have been there before, like I've been in that position before, and I've been punished for doing so. So the reason I play is because of experience. I've experienced things. And they might be different from what you've experienced, but there is no wrong way to play. Now, sometimes I'll make a mistake and I'll catch it right away, and I'm like, oh, I should have done that, and that'll cost me the whole match. And I get that, but those are usually things I know right away. If I don't catch it in the moment, probably not a misplay. Probably just made a conscious decision not to do the thing because I have something in my mind that I'm trying to do, or something in my mind that I think the opponent might have, or something I'm scared of the opponent playing. And the opponent might not play it, but you don't know until they do or don't, So, yeah, just, don't worry, man. I'm going to keep playing the way I play. You just be careful out there. Don't be in too much pain. Take some Tylenol for that pain, and, you should be good, man. Yeah. Just, have some fun out there, don't be too serious. This one is from the Rabbit Tribal deck we made a while back. It's a sweet deck, but I think you're packing too much removal. I like the idea, though. Thanks for the content. Hey, thanks for watching. I do want to point out that you can never have too much removal. If every single card in the deck could be removal, it would be removal. Removal's so good. The only time you have too much removal is if you're playing against like non-creature decks, and then it's sad. But yeah, it's like it's hard, right? Like maybe there was too much removal in that deck, but it's almost like if I don't put enough removal in, I wish I had more removal, and when I have too much removal, I wish I had less removal. It's like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have all those. So it's like you're damned if you're doing, you're damned if you don't. It's one of those things where like it doesn't really matter what you do. It's like all about what you find in the moment. And it's like this. It's like if you put the board wipes in and you're playing against Boros aggro or something with a lot of tokens, you don't find, and let's say, oh, you don't find the board wipe in that moment. It's like, oh man, I need more board wipes. But do you need more board wipes, or did you just get not lucky? Did you just get unlucky and not find the one you needed at the time? It's really hard sometimes to balance a deck like that. But yeah, you might be right. I might have had too much removal. I might have needed more creatures. But yeah, we're both right in ways. There's no wrong here. It's just like whatever you think is right. That's what you do in this game. You want to put less removal in, put less removal in. I'm definitely appreciative of that. But once again, thanks for watching the stuff. Really do appreciate that. There is no wrong comments here, guys. Like honestly, like you guys are all, you all have like great comments here. Even the ones that are berating me for the way I play, it's fine. It's, it's all fun. Hey, I look at it this way. If I played the quote unquote right way, then these people wouldn't have commented, I'm not talking about this one, but the last one. Yeah. So, it is what it is. Keep commenting, like that's all good stuff in your comments. Like I love it. I love reading them. I love seeing them. It gives me a warm, fuzzy feeling inside. Here's a couple comments. One's on Mono Blue Tempo, one's on Demir Mill, and they're very similar. I think we kind of went over something like this. The first one, cool deck. I guarantee if I play this one, I run into Cavern of Souls. 100%. And this one says, yes, absolutely. And of course, as soon as you start playing mill decks, your opponents suddenly find their 250 card decks. And let me talk about those 250 card decks for a second. Those 250 card decks seem to always win all the time. They always seem to find exactly the right card at exactly the right time. Vertical Horizon, you know what it is. No, but it's weird because like if any of you have played Paper Magic IRL, you know that playing a 250 card deck, 300 card deck is impossible. First of all, you can't shuffle it on your own, and you know that's illegal in a tournament. If you can't shuffle a deck on your own, it's an illegal deck. But also, like, have you ever played with 250 cards? You ever played with 100 cards? It is damn near impossible to find anything that you're looking for. Anything, no matter how you build a deck, you're never going to find this. You're either going to find all lands or you're going to find not enough lands. You know, like you're never going to find exactly what you need because it's just too many cards. You know. Yes, you can ratio it, like, you know, oh, if I have 100 cards, maybe I should do 40 lands and, you know what I'm saying? Like, ratio it better. But it just, you know, and I know in IRL Magic, it does not work that way. In Arena, it seems to work better than ever. So, if you know, that's my suggestion to you guys. Play your 250 card decks, just get a good land to non-land ratio. And, yeah, you'll probably win. The thing I get concerned about, though, at that is, like, if you play like 100 games, you're probably gonna like lose a bunch, and that's weird because it seems like the other side of the table always gets exactly what they need in their 250 card deck, which is weird. But I also understand that you're obviously playing different people, so they're all getting that luck, you know. Like, but it's like so weird. It always seems like the other side of the table gets exactly what they need at exactly the right time, and you're just always getting land flooded. Now, once in a while, you do see your opponent stuck on lands. You do see your opponent getting land flooded, but it's almost like whenever you top deck and you, like, let's say you have no cards in your hand, you're top decking, you're always top decking a land, it seems. Your opponent always seems to get that next card that you have to deal with, you know? I don't know. It's just weird to me. Is it rigging? I don't know. Is it a bad algorithm? I don't know that either, but it just seems really weird to me. But like, yeah, you're right. You play mill, your opponent's going to have 200 card deck. You play mono red, your opponent's going to have Phyrexian Obliterators. You play Phyrexian Obliterators, your opponent's going to have counter spells for those Phyrexian Obliterators. You know what I'm saying? It's just, there's nothing you can do. You just have to weed out the bad games. You just have to be able to say, you know what? That's just the way it goes. Like, you can't win them all. And just, you know, just win the games you win, and you just kind of got to laugh at the games you lose, you know, like sometimes. Like, I'm not saying like every game is lost by like, you know, bad draws and stuff like that, or like unlucky draws. And some are just like, you know, player based, and sometimes you make a mistake. Sometimes you just don't have the right cards to deal with the right situation. But it's like, you know, there are games out there where it's like, oh, you have 5 mana and you have exactly 5 mana to do the things you want to do. Oh, you played like 4 cards and it's exactly 5 mana and you were able to do the things, you know. It's always like they have exactly what they need. But you got to laugh at those games. You just, you know, like, it doesn't help getting frustrated. You get frustrated, they win. And yes, I have been frustrated, so they've won a lot. But you just got to like get back on the horse and try again, you know. That's just the way it goes. There's no way around it. If you're going to get flooded out, you're going to get flooded out. And if you're going to get land screwed, you're going to get land screwed. There's nothing you personally can do about it. So getting mad about it just doesn't matter, you know? But yeah, I feel you both on this one. Yeah, it almost seems like, once in a while I see Cavern of Souls when I'm not playing counter spells. And I've said it a couple times. I'll be like, oh, okay, Cavern of Souls. I don't care. I'm not playing counter spells. I've more than once. So, I do see Cavern of Souls a bit more than that, but no, it does seem like that. Like you won't, maybe you don't think about Cavern of Souls because you're not using counter spells, you know. But like once you do, now you notice it because it's like, oh, now my counter spells don't work. Cavern of Souls is one of those things I do see often, but you're right. Like things like that do happen 100%. You know, like I have things that need to go to the graveyard. Oh well, my opponent's playing all exile. Awesome. It's just the way it goes. If you're not playing things that need to go to the graveyard, your opponent's just destroying things. And it's like, oh, I wish I had things that needed to go to the graveyard because they're going to the graveyard. But it is what it is. You know, you know, there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, I would stop playing the game if I didn't love Magic so much, you know, but it is what it is. But thank you guys for your comments. Right there with you. I know how you're feeling. And this one was on a Rakdos discard deck that I came up with a little while ago. Don't know what it is, but I've been getting wrecked on Arena, log in, and immediately go 3-12. One thing I can say, if you're losing a lot, just log in and just try to get your dailies. Like if you're finding you can't win that day, just try to get your dailies and log out. Like it's not worth the stress to, you know, stay in a game that's like frustrating you, you know. I completely get it. I've like I said before, I've logged in, I've gone like 0-15. It's like you look at your daily wins and it's like 2. I've played like 25 games, you know. It's like, and it's just upsetting. So Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. You can't really do anything about that. Just like I said, try again the next day. Some days you can win, some days you can't. But I think I find that the game is more fun when you're logging in just to get your dailies, and you're like try to get your daily wins, but try to just do the dailies. You know, just try like play like 20 green spells or whatever. Just play the green spells. Just make a deck where it's all green and just play the green. Don't care. Just you don't have to do these dailies in ranked, so you don't lose any rank. Just do that, and you know you get the coins from that, and then you get to put new cards in your deck, beef up your decks, and maybe then you can win more. You know, like that. I don't know. Like sometimes it's just impossible to win no matter what you're doing, and sometimes sometimes you just need the better cards. But yeah, I know what you mean. 3 and 12, you log in. It's sad. It's just sad sometimes. But like yeah, for like sometimes if I'm not recording, I'll just log in and try to get my dailies just to get more coins and stuff. So and then I'll just log out. I'll just be like, yeah, I did my dailies and I'm out. It's fine. Or I'll just like deck tech or something like that, and I won't really be serious about winning. Like I'll try it and see how it flows, and what I call like when I record, I call it game day. Come game day, then I'll play it. But like I'll try it out and just have a bunch of decks ready to kind of test out, And I'll try to get into the testing process. I'll record. If it doesn't work, go back to the drawing board, try again. And we come back, and maybe it works after that. But yeah, I would say like if you're getting wrecked, if you're just losing a lot of games and you're getting frustrated, just log in, get your dailies, and then just log right back out and just be like, like I got my dailies and that's it. It's because at least then you're winning, right? Like you're not winning the games, but you're winning. You're accomplishing the goal you're setting out to accomplish. You're playing your 25 lands. You're playing your 15 green creatures. You're killing 15 of your opponent's creatures. I try to swap those ones out, by the way, because I don't want anything that depends on my opponent. But sometimes you have to have it. But yeah, like just do that, and then at least even if you didn't win the match, you still accomplished the goal for the day. So, and then you can look at it that way. I mean, I guess that's one of the easier ways to look at it, or one of the easiest ways to not just be completely frustrated in MTG Arena. But yeah, I mean that's all I could say about that. It happens to everybody. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Just happens to us all. Nothing you can do about it sometimes. But yeah, that's it for the comments. I figured I'd just read some of your comments. Keep the comments flowing. Keep them flowing like a river. I love to see what you guys have to say. Let's try to be nicer about the misplays and stuff. We all misplay. You misplay. I misplay. We all do the wrong thing sometimes. And you know what? Sometimes you lose because of it. Sometimes you win in spite of it. But I mean, it is what it is. Like nobody's perfect. We're just all trying to be out here having fun and just trying to survive on this big old rock called MTG Arena. But I want to thank you all for hanging out. Hope you liked this video. Listen, if you want more of this, let me know in the comments. We'll do another one at some point in the future. Just thought this would be really fun to do. One of these reading your comments. I get a lot of comments, and sometimes I want to address them all, but I don't have time, so I figured I'd just do it in one video. So thank you so much, everybody. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the Patreon, all that good stuff. And keep it right here for more Magic the Gathering content. See you later.